Will Bruce Wayne be able to unravel the devious mystery of Red Mask, or will this strange new world ultimately become his tomb? Well, let's hop into the pages of Batman issue number 134 and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up directly for where the last issue left off, this world's Selina Kyle had brought Batman all the way to the Arkham Caverns, a twisting, subterranean facility where Darwin Holiday, aka the Red Mask, conducts some of his worst and most horrifying experiments on the people of Gotham. Selina may have led Batman to water, but he's going to have to drink on his own. Selina might not like Red Mask's tactics, but she also still has to live in this world and deeply fears the guy. If nothing else, though, Bruce does actually have some nice parting words saying that she could still be every bit the Selina he knew and loved from his own world. She just needs to stop being a crime boss and get out in the street and help those who need it. Now, it doesn't actually take Batman very long to come face to face with Holiday, who is all but too happy to reveal the depths of his genius evil plan. Why? Because, well, this is a world without Batman, of course, so no supervillain has ever really had the chance to monologue before. Man, Zdarsky really does know his genre, am I right? As Halliday explains, he was a brilliant chemist who built a massive company, all in his own image, and yet despite all of his success, he was still very much unfulfilled. He pushed his team too hard one day, and one of them actively went out of their way to sabotage his experiments. A vial of strange chemicals blew up in his face, but Halliday didn't die that day. Instead, his eyes were opened. Halliday envisioned another world wherein he was someone else, something else, the Joker, something primal and uninhibited. It was after that day Halliday's research changed. He theorized that everyone in the multiverse is connected by unseen strands that could be accessed with the proper amount of drugs, pain, and torture. Halliday became obsessed with the multiverse, but specifically trying to recreate the one-in-a-million unique parameters that saw him become the Joker on another world. To do this, though, Halliday is going to need multiversal energy, and the only way he's going to get that is if he douses the entire city with a brand new strain of crane gas that will end up waking the minds of anyone who breathes it in. Obviously, Batman jumps into action and is willing to do anything it takes to stop this horrible attack from taking place. Batman figures if he follows the underground gas lines in Arkham Caverns, he can literally shut all of it off at the source. Well, that mission sure sounds easy enough on paper. Unfortunately, though, Red Mask has himself a little insurance policy in the form of Ghostbreaker, this world's answer to Ghostmaker. Bruce talks about how in his world, him and Ghostmaker were damn near equals, but here, though, Bruce is just getting by on luck and whatever he can scrounge together, but Ghostbreaker is all hopped up on Venom. Also, hey, if you're a big Chip Zdarsky continuity junkie like me, you'll positively love the fact that Ghostbreaker, here meeting Bruce and Batman for the first time, actually notes that his fighting styles are very similar to the ones he learned under the likes of Master Kirigi and the Shanghai Sky Spider. Obviously, these are references to Batman the Knight, another story that Zdarsky wrote, featuring Batman and Ghostmaker. A lot of fans wondered how in continuity that story is, and Zdarsky says, well, to this universe it sure is. It's not just Ghostbreaker Batman has to contend with either. It seems that these cells here at Arkham Cavern also play home to any other person that may have stepped up to stop Halliday's evil plans. You see, using his knowledge of the multiverse, Red Mask was actually able to imprison the likes of Lex Luthor, the Flash, and even Superman, all of whom have sadly found their minds horribly broken by Halliday and used as rabid attack dogs by Ghostbreaker against Batman. Luckily, though, Batman proves that he too can also use his knowledge of the multiverse to his own advantage. He gets the Superman here to run away by giving a big, dark, dramatic Batman-esque speech that he knew would cause this Superman to spin out, and indeed it worked. Now, back on the surface, all hell is breaking loose. The new gas is starting to seep throughout the city, and Jules is doing everything she can to try and make sure all the regular, everyday, workaday people are safe. Unfortunately, the only way they're going to be safe is if they can actually take the rich folks' ivory tower, a fact of which is made all the more difficult by the army of cops protecting it. Luckily, Jules gets some 11th hour help in the form of Catwoman, who has decided that she has taken Batman's words to heart, and she does actually want to be a hero now. And hey, speaking of heroes, it seems that Leslie Tompkins is actually refusing refusing to take refuge inside the tower, instead doing everything she can to help sick people affected by new multiversal seizures. In fact, we see Alfred get very conflicted too, no doubt remembering what Batman had told him in their short conversation a couple issues ago. Ultimately, Batman makes it to the gas room where he's forced to once again have a final confrontation with Ghost Breaker. He knows that he probably can't beat him in a sword fight, so instead he decides to go after this dude's ego and talks him into a straight up 1v1 fistfight that he feels a little bit more comfortable with. And indeed, Batman does manage to get his hand on the gas control and shut it off. Unfortunately though, he ends up losing that hand just a few seconds later. Yeah, seriously, Ghostbreaker cuts off Batman's hand. That is some serious maiming right there. Bruce should call up Green Arrow and Aquaman. They can start a support group for heroes who have had their arms cut off. Also, just because Batman shut the gas off at the source doesn't mean Red Mask is ready to call things quits. In fact, he has a very terrifying plan B already in action. If he can't pump the gas into the city, then he'll have to get a little bit more creative by unleashing the Leather Wings. What are the Leather Wings? Well, they're clones of Man-Bat, each outfitted with their own unique gas canister, and it's on that very dire note right there that the comic comes to a close. And so that was Batman number 134, everyone, and once again, I'm really enjoying what Chip Zdarsky is doing with this story. I like that it's not just enough for Bruce Wayne to have to find the means to become Batman once again in this new world, but we're already starting to seeing the positive effects Batman has on other people, having them rise up and become heroes in their own right. After all, I've always felt Batman's infectious brand of heroism is probably one of his greatest and most underappreciated powers. We learn what Red Mask has ultimately been planning this whole time, and I felt it was an alright motivation. Truth be told, I was actually more interested in the idea of a world wherein Joker didn't become Joker but still became a bad guy anyway, only to have this guy actually be obsessed with just becoming the Joker again. It does lead to an interesting little dichotomy where this guy and our Bruce have actually seen the multiverse firsthand, and because of that they have their own genre savvy, meta knowledge that they can actually apply and use against one another, and I hope we see more of that in the big finale yet to come. Overall, I'd give this one a very positive 8 out of 10. More good stuff.
Hey there everyone, Kate Joel again, and I just want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. And hey, if you enjoyed the book I covered in this issue and want some comics of your own, might I recommend Book Depository? It's my #1 place for shopping for comic book trades. You get a great price, and if you use my link down in the description, you'll actually be helping me out at the same time. You get something, I get something, everybody wins, right? So until next time everyone, I've been Joel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.